Good morning everyone. So today we're at an Audi. It's an Audi S4 2005 with the V8 4.2 litre. So this is the Audi V8 4.2, and if my memory is right, I'm sure the engine code is BBK. So the customer's complaint with this one is a long-going issue, and to be honest, I scanned it maybe about 6 months ago, and it was reporting a cylinder 6 misfire. So he took it to his local garage, and I think we can see here they've changed the coil and maybe even the plug. I'm no sure, but let's go and look at the data. But the original fault code was a cylinder 6 misfire. So done a scan using the top down, so you can see we've got a clean bill of health back from this ZKS46 module, and that says that's the comfort system control module. So it's complaining about a 01134 alarm horn. Now we know what that'll be. That'll be the battery within the horn that's now reached the end of its life, and that'll be needing replaced. And sometimes that can cause a parasitic draw, but never mind. And it's also complaining about the driver's door. But that will not be the cause of our misfire. So there's nothing in the engine electronics at the moment. And as I said to you, I maybe looked at this maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it did have a fault code for cylinder 6. So let's go and look at the data. So there it says, sometimes this tells you the engine code. There's the ECU coding in the software version, so it's a 4.2 litre V8. Oh, 5 valves per cylinder. So let's go into that, and we'll just read DTCs anyway. There's nothing there. So what we can do is, it's my friend James's car, and he says you can hear the mist, and I think he's right. I can hear something just popping just a little bit. So let's look at data stream, and we'll go into list, and we'll just type up the top here, misfire. See if we get anything here. There we go, misfire counter, misfire recognition, 1, 2, 3, there's another misfire. Oh, let's take the lot. Oh, there's misfire. So let's see. Let's let the data drive us here. So the number of counters of misfires 4, which is, there is a misfire here, but that's not very many. So 1, 2, 3's got a clean bill of health, 4's got a clean bill, 5, 6. So 6, right enough, has a misfire. So you're thinking to yourself, why is it not flagged a fault code? Well, the threshold of these misfires is not enough in order to flag a code. So we've still got a problem with 6. 7 and 8 got a clean bill of health. So we need no further direction. So let's go and think about this. So as we're thinking about this, what could the issue be? Because I believe, well, that's been changed definitely, and the plug's been changed. But what you could do is compare 6, which I'm assuming this is 6 here, because I think the layout's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you don't know the layout and you don't have a diagram, just disconnect the coil and see what a code is generated, and that can guide you. But fault code pops up. So if we have a misfire and it's no a coil, it's no a plug, it could be an injector. It could be compression within that cylinder. It could be, when I say compression, it could be a burnt valve, could be leakage within that cylinder, either through the rings or at the top end. What else could it be? Maybe the cam lobe, something on the camshaft. Maybe it's got a shim for the camshaft, one's slightly more worn than the other. The injector could be lean, the injector could be rich. There could be a plethora of things. Could be a slight air leak somewhere, it's only affecting the one cylinder, but you wouldn't think that would be normal. So what I think we're going to do is we'll smoke test her first. We'll have to do the easiest test first, the most non-intrusive test first. So we'll smoke test her. Oh, and another thing we can do is let's have a look at the fuel trims to see what they're like. But maybe it'd be better to do that under generic OBD, because some of the manufacturers' fuel trims are a bit, right, that's what we'll go and do. Always better to be sitting on your bum doing things. rather than in an engine bay. So I'm still in manufacturer's data, so I just drew up a few PIDs. So you can see we have coolant, which is the G62 sensor, 84 degrees, so that's okay. Lambda control bank 1 -2 to +1.5, that's negligible. And bank 2, they look roughly the same, so I don't think fueling really is an issue here. But it's not to say we've not got a problem with one injector, so we've still got to bear that in mind. What else have we got here? Test off, so nothing else there. Anything else we can see? I mean, we've got a whole load of PIDs. So I'm just looking through them just to see if I can jog the old grey matter where we could go here. There's bank 1, sensor 1. Another thing I was thinking, catalytic converter, sometimes you can get a blockage in a cat. It could cause a misfire, but you would think that would affect the whole bank, or I don't know how the setup is this. Is it, I see it's got 4 exhaust pipes, so is it 2 and 2 the arrangement on the banks? So 2 exhausts, one of the exhaust pipe just comes for 2 of the cylinders. I'm not sure, but that's an option. See, you can actually, I heard that the other now. There was a little miss. Yeah, let's jump into generic OBD, see what that's like. Come out of that, yes. Come out of this, yes. Into that, see, okay. We're into generic OBD, so go okay, so see if there's anything, let's see. Okay, what I hit there? So bank 2 sensor 2 fail, bank 2 sensor 1 okay, bank 1 sensor 2 fail, and bank 1 sensor 1 okay. So that's unusual. Good job I hit that. So it's not like bank 2 sensor 1. No wait, no, bank 2 sensor 2 it does not like. There we go. So let's read live data. Let's see, where do you go? Just select all. So airflow 20 kilograms an hour, commanded off. Distance travelled since mil is activated 0. Oh, that's unusual, because I've never cleared that. Clemency ratio 105, so higher is slightly lean, lower is slightly rich. So you can see bank 2 sensor 1. No, they're about the same. High is slightly lean, lower is slightly rich. So it's showing slightly lean, and it's failing the test, but we're both in closed loop. 12 degrees before stop dead setting at idle. Intake's 36, that'd be right. Our fuel trim is 0, that's negligible. Oh, our bank 2 fuel trim is -9. So bank to bank, we have a problem. So hit support in bank 2, it's taking fuel away, so it's making it lean. And the O2's failing its test. Also, bank 1 is 0 amps, so let's see if we can bring them to life. No, we're not getting any readings on them at all. Short term. That's unusual. So short term's alright. Well, they're keeping it alive, new bank 1. So let's cruise it. So there is a problem on bank 2. And it's saying it's taking fuel away. So could that be a faulty O2 sensor causing that issue? Do I know? I think we'll whip out the spark plugs and read them and see if it actually is genuinely lean, or if it is running rich. But that's unusual. So that's the So let's see this monitor here. Okay. So what's that tasting? I've no idea what these tids are, but the big one is this. Is the actual lambda sensor failing its own taste because it is useless? Bank 1 sensor 2. Wait, no, I'm getting this wrong. So bank 2 sensor 2 is failing, and bank 1 sensor 2 is failing as well. So both of them are failing on either bank. Strange. So we jumped into all data to see if there's any technical service bulletins. So I'm right enough, the engine code is BBK, 344 horsepower. And there is a code here. Well, it's kind of generic, but it says erratic idle speeds. So we'll agree with that. We have a misfire. Erratic idle speed after cold start. Sporadic misfiring logged in event memory. Well, we've only got, it's no sporadic misfiring, it's occurring in one cylinder. But what they're saying is deposits on the inlet ducts and inlet valves. So the very fact that this has 5 valves per cylinder. So what is it again, Roddy? Is it 2 for the exhaust and 3 for the inlet, or is it vice versa? Right. So this is back to the old, is it walnut shells that you can clean? You do an upper valve service. So very difficult to get into this thing. I don't even... Well, we could maybe check the back of the valves with a borescope, but access point, we do not know. The other thing, we cannot disconnect an injector just to check if this is cylinder 6. And we can't just disconnect one coil because they're all that part of that setup there. So we're going to whip out the plugs and read them. That may be our next move, but we'll bear that in mind, that valves can be an issue. In fact, I'll maybe speak to my engineering friend, see what he says. He's the expert of all things Audi. You've got to remove all the connectors, the coil pack, and this plug is tight. Oh my goodness. Unless it's just the amount of heat comes off this thing, eh? You got to see along those pliers. That's not a new plug, is it?
I thought it was green crusties, but it's that green.
That green
coil.
What colour's the plug? Oh, it's tainted, isn't it? It's not pure white.
No, it's not.
Is that oily?
It's white oil, yeah.
Aye.
It's not wet like that, but it's burning. Is that a crack in it? Electrodes, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Come out to the daylight, my man. Let's see. Well, there is. Something there anyway. Which side are you doing? Don't know. No bother. So that's number 4 coming out.
I wonder if it's the same quality, or it could be the same. AK plugs. This one was changed, right?
Because it's been too tight.
Too tight, that was tight.
Is that a different plug? No, it's the same plug. But it's cleaner. They cracks in that, right, so that plug's definitely fouled.
Aye.
So To me, that's oil deposits.
Hardened up a bit, innit?
Is it oily?
See in there?
It's
Like-
cracked.
The carbon too though. See the plenty gaps in there.
Aye, let's see
Aye,
that.
no. Plenty
Ah.
spaces.
So there is.
Might as well fill them up. It looks it.
Could be burning oil. Oh, aye, water.
Is that as yesterday in maybe?
No. As you can see, we retracted the water bottle. Just used a bungee cord. And as Roddy always tells us, you need to be, well, that's come out great. You need to be straight on these plugs. You do not get second chances.
No chance.
No chance. So you can see they're coming out quite fine. There's and it's quite dry in there, so there's no any oil leaks, which is good. So we spoke to the customer, and he told us the last time these plugs had been changed was 2015. But to be fair, he doesn't do a lot of miles. So we're beginning to wonder, was that plug maybe changed in 2015 because it was so tight to come out? So you kind of shy away from it when they're like that. Well, let's change them and see how they go. Another worry we have is, why is it just the one cylinder? So we're still, in the back of our mind, we're still thinking about that valve issue. Could it be getting starved of fuel, running hot, and maybe burn out the plug? That's another option. Number of the new plugs, 6872 or BKR 6E Quebec Uniform Alpha. Focus, man. There's the plug there. Not cheap, I can tell you that. These spark plugs that came out of 1, 2, 3 and 4, all the threads were wet, but there wasn't reporting a misfire name. But 5, 6, 7 and 8, all the threads were dry. But the spark plug holes were dry, so it must be something in cylinder, or there must be a gasket in between. I don't know how this is arranged, but strange that you can see that's oily, but sooty, very sooty. So it's like short runs, don't know. So the proof's in the pudding, or in the eating of the pudding, as I say. So misfire counter 0, so we're all good. Of course, this is when it's cold. Good, good, good. So that's good. But if you've not got a scan tool for the misfires, use the old trick. Now, I asked Roddy for a £1 coin, but he doesn't own one. He only deals in big notes. So we found this old bolt. Oh, look out, and look how steady that is. We'll put my light on. And even another trick is put your hand on it. Oh, lovely. So we'll call that one a fix. With the proviso, we did see a bit of oil in the plugs, so let's run it and see how it goes, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we hear no more. So see, I went back to the lambda reading. So bank 1, -2, minus, that's nothing. Because remember, it was -9 before, so we're in a far better place than what we were before. Lambda okay. Taste off, taste off. Sensor 1, 600 millivolts. I'll go to generic OBD. But everything else seems to be chatting out just dandy in here. So let's go to generic OBD. So I went back into generic OBD, and I don't know if it takes a long while for this to update. You see the equivalence on bank 1, sensor 1, it's floating about 1, and so is 2, to be honest. So it's at 1.005. That's really spot on. You want it 1, but when you're going 0 like that there, perfect. It's no bad for a motor that's 17 years of age. 9 degrees before top dead centre, 33 degrees. So it's still showing the long term at -9, but that may take a while to come back down if we've had a misfire. So let's see what the short term's reading. So it's just showing you 0. It's no conclusive. I maybe could clear the codes and see if that clears out the fuel trims. We'll go back into manufacturers to clear out fuel trims. I don't think generic OBD is actually cutting it on this car. So I went back into manufacturers. I can't see the place where you could clear out the fuel trims, but look at this. It's got section 15. If we go into readiness, AC okay, catalyst okay, AGR okay, heated door 2s are okay, everything's okay. So to me, that's giving everything a clean bill of health. So as I said to you, I can't see where if you go into adaptions, you read it by list, we've only got these 4, right? And if we go into basic settings by list, I don't know if one of them would clear out the lambda readings. Well, no matter, the thing's idling perfect anyway, so let it go. If it comes back, I'll tell you, but I'll call that a good one.